Behind the wheel of the number 70, and there's the 16 right behind. And
yeah, I got a feeling Freddie may have been on cold tires and just putting a bit of a block there on Fraga, who's up to speed. Just don't want to give up that track position even though you don't have the grip in the tires, so Fraga kind of sends it around the outside. That's really great commitment.
And what exactly happened to Freddie Verbeesch?
Pele just kind of forces him out to the outside, and once he's out there, Hawksworth slides up the inside. He has nowhere to go.
Yeah, I think that was just racing action. I mean, I don't think there'll be any consequence.
Restarting, BMW's up front. See if things calm down a little bit here on this restart. We talked about the championship leader in GTD early on. Bryce Ward started second. He's back at 7th in the GTD field.
Yeah, Russell Ward again putting a tremendous qualifying.
The RS1 Porsche. What a shame, and that is huge damage.
Let's take another look. Oh, it's exactly what happened. He's going to cross the grass here. This is going to be a big hit. Hang on. Oh, that is violent.
Yeah, it's very rare that you lose control of the car that early in the corner turns, and typically it happens a little bit deep into the corner, trying to tuck it to the inside. Didn't really slow it down enough with a lot of steering angle, loses the tail, and that's
Andy serving that. Not just a drive through, it's a stop plus 60. You're 39 seconds on pit lane plus 60. You put that together, it's basically a lap.
I'm glad we're a long way away from the penalty box, because I've got a feeling the temperature inside the cockpit right now for Nick Tandy is not cool by any stretch of the imagination. All I was saying. My question is, in either one of those times, losing a position with 9.5 hours to go because you're trying to run a fuel strategy, does it matter?
No, it does not. It really doesn't. And again, it comes back to Cal's point of like looking at the bigger picture, making sure that your engineering group are set.
Gold flashing by out front, Kevin.
And while the 5 would like another caution to bunch them up, that would be the worst case scenario for the DXDT Corvette and Robert Wickens. Remember, as we mentioned, it's going to take longer for their pit stop, so they wanted to stay green as much, if not the entire time in that first stint. They need to use his outright pace. Forget about just talking about the win, just in general. They want a 4-second gap
on the ring of Van der Zande. Remember what he did late in the going last year to Ricky Taylor. Can he do it this year to get a podium spot, let alone a win?
And he's got Julian Andlauer of Porsche Penske Motorsport right behind him. Aitken, Eng, Ricky Taylor. Is that podium a reality today, or is Van der Zande going to spoil the Wayne Taylor Racing party?
A drive-through.
See how it develops here. It's George Kurtz trying to make a move on Naveen Rao. Oh, that was all on George. He just overcharged that corner there and got into the side of Naveen, so maybe a little frustration prior to that.
If they touched, it was barely. I wonder if they actually made contact here. It was pretty close. Let's watch.
Yeah, there was a touch. George was involved in Dan Goldberg going around.
It's an open test way back at Sebring, and that really has turned the tide a little bit for that whole group. Car smoking here on the back straightaway. I think that's spiked. That's the 99. That's the championship leading car. Has got some issues going on right now.
What has Johnny Edgar gotten into? He'll try to find his way to pit lane.
I wonder if he's got a cut down tire and he couldn't really brake correct.
Everywhere is the United Autosports 22 of Tom Blomqvist.
Oh, moment for Farnbacher.
This
As
is
that moment gets into barriers.
Wow. This is a car that could have had the victory this afternoon, and that has all just disappeared in a moment.
Just had that little bobble. They got into the marbles, and even someone as skilled and
And some body work coming off the number 4.
That was so tough, and that gives the 64 car now a big run up the hill. Dennis Olsen.
Katzberg to the inside, side by side, and contact again.
Wild stuff. And look at Connor DeFilippi. He's just taken off as they have argy-bargy. They lock corners. That gives Olsen a run with the Mustang. He slides through.
Race control
Throughout the course of the season, but this is his teammate Bachler behind the wheel. Take a look, tails away here as they go through turn 5.
That one's kind of hard to call. You're side by side coming off a left-hander, going into a right-hander. Where is Nicky Katzberg supposed to go?
Yeah, but the way they've called it so far today, Brian, I talk about consistency. There's not a lot different to what Hawksworth got for his call, and now that incident is under review.
Everywhere, but it's offline as the McLaren gets wide there onto the dirt. Guys, 4 times out of the last 4 years, there's been a caution on the opening 2 laps, and they're trying hard to bring one out now as the Ferrari goes ripping around the outside of turn 3.
This is verging on chaotic. That was crazy. 4 LMP2 cars. You saw the United Autosports one trying to get back. The Era car, top screen, top left. That's limited.
Turn 1 and into the brake zone.
Cars that stay down in GTP, 93, 25, 40, 10, and 23. And that 23 Aston Martin has been super quick all weekend long. The development of that car continuing to progress.
Daytona, and it's going to be now about how this much develops, and you know, are they going to be able to get this figured out at the next stop, or is that going to be a bigger thing that they're going to have to fix?
Porsche's now run 1-2. It's the young German Lauren Heinrich behind the wheel, 24 years old, new to this prototype category. Did a race at Bahrain late last year in the World Endurance Championship, came out of the box and won with his teammates Andlauer and Nasser at the Rolex, of course, and talking to Jonathan Dugood, the team manager there.
They certainly have been a little bit more stringent since the middle part of last season, when they kind of changed the driver conduct in terms of what you're allowed to get away with, but they may elect that Enger kind of set the table by being very defensive there on the run down to turn 9 the lap before, and then on the run down the hill. And if you're on the outside of the car on the inside, it's going to have one result, and we saw it. You're going to end up in the fence.
For that contact, and he has got a stop plus 60 seconds. And on a track like this, that is game over. There won't be win number 4 today for Lauren Heinrich.
No, that's a lap. That's a lap, and suddenly it's all gone sideways on this team. Just such a brilliant victory. Everyone embraced the victory for this small privateer team at the last round of the champ.
Take over that left-hand lane down Holman Boulevard, that's okay, but if the 10 car's already indicated he wants to go with this, a little bit like that moment we showed from Road America where Ricky Taylor in the 10 car was trying to make a move on Nick Tandy in the 7 Porsche going up the hill towards turn 6 at Road America.
Let's have a look here. See the smoke immediately, so it's basically off its hub, it's off the pins and just moving around in the wheel well. Then he gets up to turn 3, then it eventually comes off the race car.
Good job of saving it.
Yeah. That kid is super talented. There you see the wheel disappearing and makes it all the way over the hill, continues to ban. There's our leader right there.
Did it go right
just
over the
misses
top?
it, yeah.
This could be a record for a loose wheel in terms of distance traveled, because
7.
And he is good to go at the finish here, Lee. He should be good to go in terms of winning time that last pit stop. You're back timing these races as to when the checkered flag will fall, what your fuel range is, and at that point, you hit pit lane.
New race leader. It's the winner from a year ago, Tom Dillman. Can he drive all through?
It was almost reminiscent of what we had seen Zanardi do with Brian Herta up there. A very late move and got the job done over Dane Cameron.
Maybe willing to just go the rest of the distance. Look at this battle down in the brake zone. The 1 and the 9 car, the FAF. Lamborghini Temerario. This is a battle here for P4 currently in GTD Pro.
Talk about the reliability of that
3 weeks ago he stayed.
This different look of the rules this weekend. Obviously, the following car, the one who's attempting the pass, changes your perception. But if you're in front, do you take a little more liberty with that? Close the door a little sooner, saying, what are you going to do? Hit me. And there's Mike through turn 1 right behind him, the 81 of Costa, and then Hessa and Snow there. Carousel.
Oh, this is where Tony's had his moment as well.
And it doesn't take much.
No, and as the race wears on, Brian, you get more and more of those marbles out there, and it's like you're just skating.
So can they get this car, the 22, out in the next 37 minutes, 38 minutes, basically, on the race?
Blomqvist, the fight for second is intensifying. He's switching lines, just trying to get Jack Aitken off his game here and put that Meyer Shank Acura in 2nd place overall.
That Acura is so strong off the corner. It really puts it down nicely. It just seems to have that little bit of extra boost. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it does drive nicely off the corner. The Cadillac can sometimes stretch away a little.
As they go back out on the track, the driver change happened, but Cal, they cannot make it to the end of the race from here on fuel. They'll have to pit again, just like the 5 will when they pitted earlier.
Yeah, and they need a yellow before everyone hits pit lane, but we saw a pass for the lead with the number 93 car getting balked in traffic a little bit, and Aitken pounced.
I think Nick Yellowly has got to be beside himself with the GTD traffic that
comes down pit lane, but look how short this is.
Takes about 17 seconds to drive down here, but the delta is even less than that. Leader is just coming through the final corner, so you're going to see in the backdrop there, he just stays on that lead lap. That was awfully tight there last year.
Cal, you talk about drivers that don't have anything to lose in this championship hunt. It is Grosjean as he pops out on the front straightaway.
GT cars now coming through the back part of the race course. 14 turns, almost 2.5 miles here as that Corvette gets off course. A little dicey there, Cal, for the yellow Corvettes to start.
That's the second of the Corvettes, so both Corvettes having drama here on the